Empire.
Kobe Bryant, gone too soon. Plus, we're here to talk Super Bowl. What's up, everybody? It's Mike Jones. This is the Football Jones Podcast. Thanks for coming back for another episode. You can read me at usatoday.com. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at @ByMikeJones. Yes, as I said, Kobe Bryant still doesn't feel like it should be real, but it is. And to help work and talk through the feelings, the sadness, I've got my buddy Terez Paylor from Yahoo Sports. We're going to talk Kobe, and then we're going to turn our attention to the Super Bowl because we're both here in Miami. Got 5 straight days of prep for the Super Bowl. Begins tonight with media night, and then the teams start working in earnest. But anyway, first up, our thoughts on Kobe Bryant and what he meant not only to the game of basketball, but to us as people and to athletes everywhere. Here we go, my visit with Terez Paylor. And we're back with a good friend here, Terez Paylor, senior NFL writer from Yahoo Sports. T-Sizzle, man, it's good to see you. Yeah. But I don't know about you, but I'm really pretty gut punched still after this Kobe news.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are, including me. I appreciated the man's competitiveness, right? He taught us some things about going for what you want and trying to make the most out of your ability. I think those are things that'll last. That'll be part of his legacy. Nevertheless, it felt like he was kind of settling to like an older, wiser version of himself. Yeah. I think that we all would have been probably benefited to hear from. Right?
Yeah.
I think he was kind of definitely matured and seemed to kind of understand stuff and really kind of, I don't know, he just really seemed like he had a lot more he wanted to give the world, right?
Exactly, yeah.
And it just kind of stinks because I was actually really looking forward to like 50-year-old Kobe.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
And just the way that since he retired, he'd started to peel back that curtain, and let people inside. The Mamba Mentality, the book, the detailed series on ESPN. He was letting young guys see, this is how I got here. This is what it takes, and he was inspiring them beyond just on the field, on the court. Yeah. He was also like inspiring them, intellectually, and then his whole creative side with. The podcasts, the youth fiction book series that he was working on. It just, he had so much going on. You could tell, working with his daughters. And I just, like you said, I really was looking forward to that next chapter of Kobe because I felt like he gave us a lot in basketball, but he was about to give more as a person. And
exactly.
I wrote about this just like you can't step foot in an NFL locker room without hearing somebody talk about Mamba Mentality or hearing a debate about Kobe or whatever. His reach extended way beyond basketball and other sports.
Absolutely, and it's just sad because you could see like the impact he had on an entire generation of players, and not just players, just the world. The whole outpouring of stuff about. This is touching a lot of people, so. It's far too soon, but that's one heck of an impact. Right?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to make an impact on the world. Well, you're seeing right now, he's dominating most of the categories on Twitter right now.
Yeah.
So that's one heck of an impact for sure.
Yeah, and he had said, that, his goal was to inspire people to the point where they wanted to be great and no matter what they did.
Yeah.
And that's what he was doing. That's what he did. That's what he was doing. I know a lot of guys that we're going to talk to this week have been impacted by this. A lot of guys, looked up to him. Patrick Mahomes, tweeted out to him. So it's going to be a while for, this one. I can't remember an athlete's death like this.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Dale Earnhardt's was sad, you know, Roy Halladay's was, you know, sad. But this one here, like, I feel like we grew up with Kobe, you know.
You probably got to go a long ways before you think of like a star athlete that was like this impactful on a generation that this has happened to. Like, I can't. Can you think of?
No.
I mean, it's like Jordan. This happened in a Jordan.
Right,
it's
right,
like
right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Not even like the second tier. Like, this guy was
No.
a first division star in the
Right.
NBA.
Yeah.
So it's not even like a second tier guy. I mean, this is top of the line.
No,
here.
yeah.
So that's why. I mean, it's the kind of deal I think that, you know, in 20 years we'll know where we were when we heard about it. And
Yeah.
we'll, you know, people will be able to, who are alive and old enough to understand, to be able to kind of understand like what it meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's kind of a cultural touchstone, I would say.
yeah, exactly. I mean, my kids, you know, my son, he's 15. He called me up, Dad, this is true, is it? You know, my 12-year-old,
Yeah.
you know, had to go lay down. He just like, you know, felt awful, you know. Just, it's an impact. And I mean, I tell you, I covered the NBA for a little bit.
Yeah,
and
that's right. Yeah.
I wasn't fazed by any of those guys. But I do remember, like, soon after I started, and I was at Verizon Center, which is now, what is it? Can't remember what they call the arena now. But Kobe walked down the hallway, and he stopped looking where he was going, and I was like, oh,
There's some
that's
guys
Kobe
where that
right
still
there.
applies,
Right,
man.
right.
Yeah.
And
I would
then-
imagine it's like that for MJ.
yeah, right. It was that kind of feel. All-star, I remember I was in a scrum, asked a question. He answered it, eye contact the whole time. And he was like, that's a good question. And I was like, wow.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But like LeBron, any
It
of
would
those
be
other
like
guys,
LeBron.
he didn't really even do it for me. But
No, I'm
Kobe-
talking about the.
Yeah, for
if
these
this had
guys.
happened.
Right.
Like it's in that tier. It's,
Yeah, right.
Which is really sad in
Yeah.
a lot of ways. But I will say this: he's left an impact on a lot of people, and you know, he taught us the value of competing every day against yourself, you know, against others, and you know, in a lot of ways, I think a lot of the things that he kind of was about, people are gonna feel for a long time.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right. But anyway, we are both here in Miami because this is Super Bowl week.
Right.
The calm before the storm.
That's right.
You know, tomorrow night, media night, it's going to be a circus. I can't wait
think
for
of
it to
another
be
word
oval.
for it.
Right.
It's not bad if you can kind of get your guys, but then the worst thing is when, I mean, you know this,
Yeah.
you know, you got some serious football questions you want to get
Right.
to, and then, you know, they being asked trivia questions.
Right, exactly. That's the thing that's just so crazy. Fortunately, I think the sound's going to be a little better. Last year it was so
Okay.
loud you're
Yeah.
standing 2 feet from a guy and can't hear him.
Yeah.
This is going to be outside at Marlins Stadium. I'm hoping it's going to be a little better, but really, you know, this isn't the day you want to be hanging out at the podium, you know?
Yeah.
You just want to get your
No,
guys.
Right,
you know?
exactly. The podium is a bad idea.
Bad idea. Get the guys off to the side that are less big name guys. Get
might
the
be able to
assistant
get some.
coaches, you know.
You might be able to get some.
You just got to be smart.
I actually don't hate the access on Super Bowl Media Week. You just got to, like, have a plan.
Right. Yeah. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you can get a lot of
You
stuff
really
done.
can. You just got to
because-
have a plan.
Right, exactly. So what are you most, and you've been following this Chiefs team, are you concerned at all? Or do you feel like, you know what, they've got this thing?
Listen, I think they're the best football team here, but, you know, any given Sunday is a real thing. Like, it won't take a lot for the 49ers to win this game.
Right.
I think the Chiefs' offense is fantastic, and yes, you typically are going to bet with Patrick Mahomes. Like, you don't want to be betting against that guy.
Right.
And you don't want to do that. But, listen, the 49ers have one of the most varied, creative, physical run schemes in football.
Yep.
They execute the hell out of it, and they've got a coach who's taught it well. It's a cornucopia of run schemes they run at you.
Yeah.
Zone stuff, gap scheme. Then they remix all of it with the damn fullback.
Right.
Which, you know, people don't use fullbacks like that anymore. So,
And
there's
then
a lot
their
of things
pass
here.
plays look the exact same way as a lot of their run sets.
And that's why it's so effective, because the fusion is there between the run game. You have no matter what, because the fusion's there, you got to honor the run.
Right.
So you might know it's coming, but it doesn't matter. You better honor it, or they're gonna gash you.
Right.
And you do have to stop the run first and foremost with this team, because if you don't, you get what happens to the Packers.
Yeah.
An embarrassment.
Yeah. Now, we've seen this Chiefs team get off to slow starts. I don't know if they can afford to do that this time. But then we see their defense kind of regroup, put the clamps on them. What are you expecting out of them?
I expect, put it this way, the game plan's going to be on point early. Now, the execution, you never know. That's hit and miss, because nerves, that type of deal. But they're going to be looking to get out to a start early here. Because just like with Tennessee, this is not a team that you want to get down by too much against. Especially because while Tennessee's run game was formidable and Henry's 6'4", 250, the 49ers run game is more varied than that, and probably more effective overall.
I think so.
So
definitely more diverse, and I felt like Henry, he's very much a straight ahead runner. He might hit a little bit of cutback here and there,
but this is different.
But this is the way they stretch it. And
these guys can really get up. They're really fast.
Yeah.
And then there's Art Smith did a great job with Tennessee's offense, but San Francisco's play action offense is a whole lot different. It's a different deal.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you don't want them to get that run stuff established, because if they do, it's going to be a long day at the office. The Saints found out in the middle of December.
Yeah. But the one thing that I keep going back to is that nobody can flip a switch like Patrick Mahomes in this offense can.
Yeah. No, when it comes to competitiveness, it's real, right?
Yeah.
We talk about the Kobe thing, and that's there. Over my dead body games, I've continued to write it. The Texans game, 24-0. Over my dead body game, we refused to have it.
Yep.
Tennessee game, they're down 17-7. Over my dead body run. Now they lead by 4 at halftime.
Yeah.
There's just certain players where they're so talented and they're so competitive, they impose their will on the game, and that's this guy. He is a special player, and I guarantee you this. The 49ers will never feel like the game's over until it's over, right?
Yeah.
And the Chiefs feel that way too.
Right.
So I think it's going to be great for the whole world to kind of see this guy now, right? This is the big stage. This is going to be good for football and him, but definitely good for football.
We definitely got the two best possible teams that we could have gotten, I think.
It's going to be,
you got Andy Reid versus Kyle Shanahan.
Right. One of these guys is getting off the schneid now, right?
Yeah.
Can't win the big one schneid. One. There's no
Kyle's
shortage
got
of
the
storylines.
28, the choke against the,
right.
They've both got a lot here.
And it's not the Patriots either.
No.
I actually kind of enjoy their greatness a little bit, but this is good to just have something different here.
Right.
These guys will be talking.
Well, and also I think that these could be the start of a new dynasty.
It could be.
If Mahomes and them get one, I don't know what's going to keep them from not coming back. I know it's hard to do.
Right.
But if he's grown like this in 2 years, as a starter, what next year could be like, and then look at the 49ers. Even if they win it, with Jimmy Garoppolo being just a titch above a game manager. And Kyle, I was in training camp, and Kyle said, he was hurt last year. We're going to take some, he thought that this was going to be an adjustment year where Jimmy was going to take some lumps and things like that. And then next year he was going to really take a leap. So they've exceeded expectations, even with him just a titch above a game manager. If they continue to grow next year, they could be even more scary.
Listen, there's room for the offense to grow too, not just with Garoppolo, but the targets. Sanders has been a great number one target for them, but there's room at the other receiver position to get another deep guy. I know Deebo Samuel's a good football player, slot bully, he's great, but there's room in this offense for one more really, really good receiver. So you add that to a defense that they're going to continue to build upon. They could get faster in the back end, right? I think the 49ers, with Kyle Shanahan at the helm, as long as the offensive line is blocking well with this scheme, teams are always going to be a little limited in what they can do against it. Right. So the only way that the 49ers will fall off is if what happens to the Rams happens to them. Which is at the interior of their offensive line, and then all of a sudden all this stuff you don't care about.
Exactly.
You don't care about all the window dressing and the play act because you don't respect the run game the same.
Right.
So.
Yeah, you're exactly right. So you have two big questions for the Chiefs, two big questions for the 49ers.
Start with the Chiefs? Can they get off to a good start? Secondly, will they set the edge?
Okay.
You better do that against this team. If you don't do that, you're not gap sound and physical. It's going to be a long day at the office. For the 49ers, I think they'll run the ball a little bit, right? But can Garoppolo make plays? Like, he's going to have to make some throws. He's going to have to make some big boy throws. And I saw him do it. Like the Saints game I was at, he won me over that game. Yeah. That place, I mean, you've been there. Yep. When it's really rocking, like the press box is actually shaking. Yeah, exactly. We can talk about how that's happening, but it's happening, right? And that's a great environment for football. Yeah. And he was making some killer, like, over my dead body plays there too. So, but he's gonna have to do it on this stage. Right. The last thing, their defense, they're fast. These guys can chase Mahomes, but like, will they be able to catch him? Right. When he's making second reaction plays, they're fast, but we haven't seen anyone catch him yet.
No, we haven't. Yeah, man. All right, well, it's going to be an intriguing week. Thanks for the visit here. Yeah. You know, getting there, game plan. Think of that strategy for media night. Yeah. You know, and
we share the same game plan. Yeah, I see you working. I know. We know what we're doing by now. We veterans.
Exactly. Yeah. Here we are. All right, man. Well, tell everybody once again where they can find you at.
Find me on Twitter at Terez Paylor. Also, I know you listen to Mike's podcast. You should keep doing that, but also co-host the Yahoo NFL podcast. So that's right. I want you guys to check that out too. Listen to both. Subscribe and listen to both.
Hey, there's plenty of football to go around.
That's right. That's right.
All right, man. Thanks so much, and we'll see you later on this week.
Yep. See you, man.
Drop me a line, shoot me a tweet. Be interested in hearing your memories of Kobe, what he meant to you. You can tweet at me at by Mike Jones. You can email me at mjones@usatoday.com. I will talk to you guys later this week. Got media night tonight, and then interviews Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I'll come back to you with another episode Thursday morning, as we'll be just days away from the Super Bowl. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Football Jones podcast, and have a great day.